This is the real way to improve arm drive. So one of the first things that parents come up to me when they start having their kid train with me is, oh, we need to fix his arms. His arms swing out like this, his elbows bow out, and his arms go across his body when he runs. And what I tell them is, look, we're not going to do any arm drive drills to improve this. This is how we're actually going to go about doing it, right? And traditional training of arm drive is just all about working on the arm mechanics. You know, I actually posted a video about this probably 2 or 3 years ago, focusing on how to actually swing your arms. But as I go deeper and deeper into learning about training, learning about performance, I've learned that there's no amount of arm drive drills that will perfectly get your kids to pump their arms right. When your kid wants to run really fast, they're going to do everything in their body's power to run fast. And if that takes swinging their arms crooked, that's what it's going to have to take, because the reality is the foundation of why your kids' arms swing the way they do is because of a lack of strength. A lack of strength in the core, lack of strength in the hips, and lack of strength in the lower body, foot, and ankle. And so what we want to do is we don't want to just attack arm drive singularly, because if we attack arm drive and we say, okay, he's got to run with his arms like this, what happens is your kid is going to start running with his arms like this, but he's going to run extremely slower, and there's going to be other aspects of their sprint that we're going to break. And so what we have to do is we have to get your kids stronger before we even work on arm drive drills. So what aspects do we need to work on first? It's core strength. So if we have a weak core, that's going to cause us to turn our shoulders like this, right? And that's over, obviously you're going to swing your shoulders a little bit when you run, but if you swing your shoulders way too much, you're going to get that crossing the body action with the arms that we do not want. So what we want to do with core stability is we want to work planks, we want to work side planks. That way you have that core stability and stiffness to hold your body upright when running and jumping. Then for hips, I would work on single leg balances. With single leg balances, all we do is we hold our leg up to this point right here, and we hold that position. That way we're also working on ankle stability and strength, and we're also working on that outer hip and hip flexor strength. So after we do the single leg balances, what else could we do to improve our lower body strength and stability? I like iso lunge holds. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we start out at about 30 seconds and we progress up to a minute, minute and a half, maybe even 2 minutes of holding that iso lunge position. That way we can build that strength and stability in the lower body that can hold our body upright. What we have to do is we have to improve their strength as they grow. Continue to work on core strength, hip strength, and lower body strength, and that's going to really have a more positive impact on the mechanics of your kids sprinting. If you look at other high-level pro athletes, they may not have amazing arm drive or the perfect running technique. If you just look at John Ross versus Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy had better running form. Yeah, he had a slightly better 40-yard dash, but John Ross had otherworldly speed and he had really non-ideal mechanics. So when we talk about this, make sure it's strength first, then technique second. That's why we work strength at every single one of our sessions, so we don't just overdose on technique and we really focus on what really matters for youth athletes. If you have any questions about arm drive, or if you disagree with what I talked about in this video, feel free to hit me up in the comments. I'm always open to honest, good conversation that's not very hostile. I like having conversations with people that don't agree with me. If you are a supporter of arm drive drills, feel free to hit me up. But I appreciate you guys watching this through the end, and let's get better today.